I saw a post on LinkedIn yesterday and it's killing me that I can't find it, but I wanted to chat about my reaction on it. The post was talking about how lead scoring is useless and it has ruined marketing teams and revenue teams, and they're not able to hit their numbers because of it, and yada, yada, yada. In some ways, I kind of agree with him because the one point they had was you should just send your demo requests or contact us leads to sales. And trying to send these like low intent people, which is what I think he meant, is what is causing the problem. And I think that I agree with him. First, a lot of companies are doing lead scoring, but they have a very low threshold for who should be sales ready. So that's an issue. And then two, they're only using that scoring for exactly the way it's described, like score them up to determine who should be sales ready. And then, AKA MQL, and then that's how they use it. And my thoughts on this is it's a bit more nuanced. Like, I love LinkedIn because people can, tout their statements, but sometimes there's a bit more nuance. So I feel like we should approach lead scoring, or a better suggestion is maybe to rename it or think of it as buyer prioritization. I think that most companies, if they have a good amount of inbound, yes, should likely be just sending hand raisers to sales. But unfortunately, that's not always the case, or sometimes it's a bit more nuanced to that. So seen like two scenarios where this can be troublesome if you're not doing some type of scoring, and actually how buyer prioritization can be useful. So the first thing is we have seen companies who have a huge amount of influx of hand raisers. And unfortunately, not all of those are a great fit. So having a buyer fit grading, so separating out your fit versus how much intent you're showing into a different score and having like kind of a grade for that, like A, B, C, or D, can be really useful because then you can decide, who should go to sales and be sales ready and have a meeting, or who should maybe send down a path that's a bit more automated or have a bit more qualification, and getting before getting a look at your product. We've seen even high DQ rates on Contact Us, which normally should be sent to sales, but it's not always that straightforward. Like I said, the second thing is we have seen some really early companies not getting a huge amount of hand raisers. It makes sense. They're just trying to drum up demand. And this is where buyer prioritization and calling it that makes a lot of sense, because what you can do is still score their intent and activities, and that can be used to show a signal of what they're doing, and that can be really useful. But that doesn't mean sending it to sales. You could actually use a determinator of who should get more content from you, who should be sent invites to events, or who could actually get, some targeting, especially if they're a really good fit company. And then secondarily, you can use the actual demographic fit again more operationally for who should be prioritized. So if you're looking at the leads that you're generating from ads or from any channel, really, you can actually look at the grade to see, is this a good source early on of leads that were generated from this? And so instead of waiting for pipeline to get created, kind of an early signal of like, are we getting people that are a good fit versus not? So buyer fit and buyer intent are what is needed in that score, and both can be used in different ways outside of just determining who is sales ready. So that's where the nuance is. And yeah, let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you not? I think that lead scoring or buyer prioritization still has its use case and can be very useful.